How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to talk about why I am excited for the future of Xbox. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've been pretty much a PlayStation gamer for the better half of maybe 5 or 6 years. It could be a little bit longer than that, but I was a big 360 guy, then I migrated over to the PS4. Xbox One didn't really do much for me in the beginning, but then I ended up getting an Xbox One X later on down the line, and then I ended up with both a PS5 and a Series X, and after seeing the blueprint and seeing the layout of what Xbox is trying to do, I gotta say, man, I'm excited, I'm convinced, I'm on board, and I am ready to see what they can deliver this generation. So, the reason why I'm excited for Xbox is mainly for the simple fact that they've seen all the things they've done wrong in the previous generation, and they're now trying to do a lot better as far as Game Pass and allowing accessibility across all platforms, be it PC, be it cloud, be it Xbox. They're all in trying to make games more accessible. They're trying to make games, more games in general, which was a complaint to begin with, because the biggest criticism that they got was that Xbox has no games, or Xbox doesn't have many single-player first-party games, and now that's beginning to change. You have the likes of Fable, you have the likes of Avowed, Hellblade: Senua's Saga, you have the remake. Well, I'm not sure if we can call it a remake, but we have Perfect Dark. And they've heard the criticism, they really have. And when you look at the lineup of first-party studios that they have, and then when you look at the fact that all of their first-party studios will be launching day and date within the Game Pass on day one, that's amazing. That's insane to think about. And I've heard a lot of people say things like, oh, well, they need to be, how do we know their games are going to be good? They're not proven yet. I couldn't disagree more. When you look at the likes of Forza Horizon 4 and 5, and you look at how beautiful those games are, when you look at the most recent Doom games, Doom 2016, and then Doom Eternal, you look at Dishonored 1 and 2, you look at Prey, which I've heard is a good game, the blueprint is definitely there. And I feel that criticism is null and void, because a lot of their first party studios are proven. A lot of their first party studios have already released really good games, such as Obsidian and The Outer Worlds, and we have The Outer Worlds 2, which is in development. And I think that the blueprint it's there. It really is there, and I keep saying that. But when you just look at the first party lineup and the fact that they're launching straight into Game Pass, that's amazing. And Xbox has also done a really good job with accessibility. Now, we all have had a game where we played it, we thought it was amazing, and we told everyone about it. We're like, oh man, you gotta try this game, it's so good, it's so good. But we have those friends who are a bit skeptical and they don't want to part with their money because they're afraid they're not gonna like that game. This is where Game Pass really helps you out a lot, because again, and I know I always talk about it on this channel, and I know I'm probably annoying some of you guys, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. Xbox Game Pass is the best value in gaming right now. If your friend is afraid of spending $50 or $60 on a game, they could just subscribe to Game Pass and try out whatever game it is, if it's on the platform. And I just think that it's amazing that we're in these times right now, where back in the day, a lot of us were lucky to even just get one game, once every 6 months. And now these kids growing up today have Game Pass, and they have access to so many games at the drop of a hat. And I really believe that we're at a point where this is the beginning and the rise of a new generation of Xbox, and I think it's really cool. Now, this is not a Xbox versus PlayStation video. I'm not trying to knock on PlayStation, because I love their first party games and I love what they're doing, but I'm just really excited for Xbox because the future is so bright. The layout is there. I mean, what they're doing with accessibility is amazing. And then when you really start to sit down and you look at their first party games, and you can kind of brainstorm, and when you think about the fact that they have inXile, they have Bethesda, and they have Obsidian, you gotta imagine at some point I'm not saying they mix and merge those studios together, but you gotta imagine if they ever made a Fallout game, that would be probably the most biggest anticipated Fallout game of all time. It would be insane to think about if you really just kind of put those heads together and see what they can really do. And then when you also think about the fact that they now have id, and they have 343, Halo, Doom, there's a lot of room to have fun, mix things up. I mean, just imagine Halo on the id Tech engine. I mean, that would be ridiculous to even think about. Personally, I would love a Halo CE remake on the id Tech engine. I don't know how they would do that, but just the idea of that just sounds really fun and amazing. And I just think that Xbox they're doing a lot better. They're already doing a lot better because, like I said before, their biggest criticism is that they don't have any games really. And now when you look at their first party lineup, and I actually have their first party studios right here. Now this is a list of all of their first party studios. Now, the list of Xbox game studios goes as follows: 343 Industries, World's Edge, Compulsion Games, Obsidian, Mojang Studios, The Coalition, The Initiative, Playground Games, Rare, inXile, Turn 10, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, Undead Labs, Xbox Game Studios Publishing, Bethesda Game Studios, ZeniMax Online, id, Machine Gun Games, Alpha Dog, Tango Gameworks, Arcane, and Roundhouse Studios. I mean, it is amazing. Like, that list right there is wild. It is wild. And we've even heard that there are more games in development. I mean, we already know inXile has 2 unannounced RPGs that are in development right now. And there's more games from their studios that we don't even know about. And the ones that we already know about already have people hype. So I'm telling you that the future, it's really bright, and I can't wait to see what they do. We already have Arcane pumping out a new IP in Redfall. Initially, that was something I wasn't really excited about when I first heard leaks and rumors about it, but when I saw that trailer, I'm pretty much in there. It seems like it really is something that's right up my alley. So I'm telling you, it's just such an exciting time to be a gamer. It's an exciting time to be an Xbox gamer, and what they're doing with just accessibility and Game Pass. I mean, all you're doing is paying $10-15 a month, and you have access to all these games to just play whenever. And when these first party games start to roll out, you're just gonna have access to them on day one, and you don't have to pay anything outside of the $10 or $15 a month, unless the price goes up a bit. But I just think the whole service as a whole is amazing. Like I said, accessibility, what they're doing is amazing. They've got it to the point where cloud gaming, they're really making a push for cloud gaming. And game streaming has never really been something I've been excited about, but I believe that if anybody can do it in a way where it does excite me, it's going to be Xbox. What they're already doing with it now is it's getting to the point where you can just play games anywhere. Game Pass is going to be on your phone. It might end up being on your TV at some point. And the fact that you can just whip out your phone and start playing Halo just at the drop of a hat, that's crazy. That is really crazy. And I believe I read somewhere, and I could be a little bit wrong on this, but I believe I read somewhere that it's at the point where moving forward, let's say Stalker 2, when that comes out next year, even if you don't own an Xbox Series S or X, you can play it on your Xbox One via cloud streaming. Granted, it's not going to be the full experience, plugged up to your TV on a Series X or S, but the fact that you can still experience these games on some capacity on much older hardware is insane to think about. It's wild. The fact that we're at a point now in gaming where it's so accessible from so many angles, and that's one of the other things that Xbox is doing so well, that they're making games so accessible from everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. Game Pass is everywhere, and it's easy to use. It's not in any way complicating, and I mean, it's basically just the Netflix of gaming at this point. And I think that the more that the more time goes on, the more we'll really start to see these first party studios push out games like the next Gears game. You're gonna have the next inXile games. It's Outer Worlds 2. Once these games start to really come out, I mean, it's going to be wild to see them launch into Game Pass, and to be able to play on your phone, to be able to play on much older hardware, to be able to play on new hardware, and even play on PC. And the fact that they're supporting PC as well is amazing, because again, this is where accessibility is awesome. One of the things that I like is that when Xbox, their first party studios release a game, it always comes day and date to Game Pass on their consoles and also on PC. While Sony, let's be real, they kind of do end up releasing their games years down the line and end up charging you full price, or maybe $10 less. But the fact that we're at a point where games are this accessible from so many different angles, it's amazing. It really is. And I think Xbox is really going to shake up the wave. They're going to really be a powerhouse this generation. And I really can't wait, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're excited about the future of Xbox and just in gaming in general, let me know in the comment section below. Are you subscribed to Game Pass? Do you hate Game Pass? You know, what is your thoughts on Xbox as a whole this generation so far? Granted, it did just start, but I mean, come on. We can all see the work that they're putting in, and they definitely have my attention. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to share it on your favorite social media platform, be it Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a great day.